Jordan was a graphic designer. He was 34 years old. His life was mostly lived sitting down. He sat at his desk for hours, staring at a screen. He sat on his sofa at night watching television. His days were filled with deadlines and stress. His nights were filled with takeaways and sugary snacks. He told himself he was too busy to cook. He told himself he was too tired to exercise. This was just how life was, or so he thought. He felt sluggish and tired all the time. Getting up in the morning was a real struggle. He just didn't have the energy he used to. Life felt like it was happening in slow motion, and he was just a spectator. One Tuesday, everything changed. Jordan went for a routine checkup. He hadn't been to the doctor in years. The doctor's face was serious, the words he used were scary. He talked about high blood pressure. He talked about high cholesterol. He said Jordan was on a dangerous path. The words hit Jordan like a punch. He felt a cold wave of fear wash over him. All those late nights and greasy meals suddenly felt very real. He saw his future flash before his eyes, and it was not a happy one. The doctor's office felt small and suffocating. Jordan just wanted to get out of there. Walking home, his mind was racing. He felt a mix of shock and shame. How had he let himself get to this point? He was only 34. He should be feeling strong and full of life. Instead, he felt old and broken. The city streets seemed to blur around him. Every fast food sign felt like it was mocking him. He thought about his dreams and goals. He wanted to travel. He wanted to be active. He wanted to feel good. Right now, none of that seemed possible. The future he had imagined for himself felt like it was slipping through his fingers. And it was all his own fault. But somewhere deep inside, a tiny spark of hope appeared. It was small, but it was there. The fear was real, but so was this new feeling. It was a feeling of determination. Jordan realized this was a turning point. This was his chance to make a change. He could either let the fear win, or he could fight back. He decided right then and there that he was going to fight. He wasn't going to be a victim of his own habits anymore. Today was the day his new life would begin. He didn't know how he was going to do it, but he knew he had to try. This was his wake-up call, and he was finally listening. The next morning, Jordan threw out all the junk food. The cupboards looked so empty. He went to the supermarket with a plan. He bought fresh vegetables and lean protein. It felt strange. Cooking was a new skill he had to learn. His first few meals were not great. Some were burnt, some were bland. He missed the easy comfort of his usual takeaway pizza. The cravings were intense. Every evening his mind screamed for sugar and fat. It was a constant battle inside his head. He had to remind himself why he was doing this. He had to remember the doctor's words. He decided to start moving his body. He put on an old pair of trainers. He just went for a walk around the block. It felt incredibly hard. His lungs burned, his legs felt heavy. After just 10 minutes, he was exhausted and had to go home. He felt so discouraged. It seemed like an impossible mountain to climb. The next day, he felt so sore he could barely move. He almost gave up. He thought, what's the point? I'll never be fit. Setbacks like this happened a lot at the start. One day he would eat well, the next he would give in to a chocolate bar. It was a messy, difficult process. The mental struggle was just as tough as the physical one. His old habits were like a strong current, always trying to pull him back. He felt lonely in his journey. Friends would invite him out for drinks and burgers. It was hard to say no. It was hard to explain his new goals. Some days he would slip up, he'd have a bad meal or skip a workout. The guilt that followed was horrible. He would feel like a complete failure. He started to believe that maybe he just wasn't the kind of person who could be healthy. The negative thoughts were loud and convincing, but Jordan didn't completely give up. He learned to be a little kinder to himself. He realized that one bad meal didn't ruin everything. One missed workout wasn't the end of the world. The important thing was to get back on track. He started to see each day as a fresh start. He learned that progress wasn't a straight line. It was full of ups and downs. Slowly, very slowly, things started to feel a tiny bit easier. The walks got a little longer. The healthy meals started to taste a little better. He was learning to be patient. He was learning to trust the process even when it was hard. Jordan knew he couldn't do this alone. He needed support. He decided to call his friend Sarah. He was nervous to tell her everything. He felt embarrassed about his health problems, but Sarah was amazing. She listened without judgment. She didn't make him feel bad. Instead, she offered to help. She said, "Let's do this together." The next day, she joined him for his walk. Having someone to talk to made the time fly by. They encouraged each other when things got tough. Sarah's support was a game changer. It made Jordan feel less isolated on his journey. Sarah had another great idea. She suggested they join a local fitness group. Jordan was terrified. He imagined a room full of super fit people. He was sure he wouldn't belong, but he trusted Sarah, so he agreed to go. Walking into that gym was one of the scariest things he had ever done, but he was surprised. The people were friendly and welcoming. They were all shapes and sizes. They were all at different stages of their own fitness journeys. No one judged him. Instead, they cheered him on. They understood the struggle because they had been there too. The community became his lifeline. He started going to classes a few times a week. The workouts were hard, but they were also fun. The instructor showed him how to do the exercises correctly. The other members would give him a high five after class. He started to look forward to his workouts. It wasn't a chore anymore. It was a place where he felt he belonged. He made new friends who shared his goals. They would share healthy recipes and celebrate each other's small victories. This support system was so powerful. It kept him motivated on days when he wanted to quit. With this support, Jordan's mindset began to shift. He stopped seeing exercise as a punishment. He started to see it as a celebration of what his body could do. He wasn't just focused on losing weight anymore. He was focused on feeling strong. He was focused on having more energy. The community taught him that wellness was about connection and support, not just about numbers on a scale. He learned that it's okay to ask for help. He learned that we are stronger together. This tribe of supportive people helped him build a foundation for lasting change. Months passed, and Jordan's life looked completely different. The small, consistent changes had added up. He was no longer just surviving, he was thriving. Waking up in the morning was now easy. He felt refreshed and full of energy. He enjoyed cooking healthy, delicious meals. He even started experimenting with new recipes. His afternoon walks had turned into morning runs. He could run for miles without feeling out of breath. He felt a strength in his body that he had never felt before. This new strength wasn't just physical, it was mental too. He felt more confident and capable in every area of his life. His new confidence was noticeable to everyone. At work, he was more focused and creative. He no longer felt overwhelmed by stress. He had healthy ways to manage it, like going for a run or talking with a friend. He started taking on new challenges he would have avoided before. He even started a hiking club with some of his new friends from the gym. They would explore beautiful trails on the weekends. He was living a bigger, fuller life. He smiled more, he laughed more, he felt genuinely happy from the inside out. He realized that taking care of his body had also healed his mind. One day a new person joined the fitness group. He looked nervous and unsure, just like Jordan had on his first day. Jordan remembered that feeling so clearly. He walked over and introduced himself. He shared a little bit of his own story. He told the new member that it was okay to be a beginner. He offered words of encouragement. In that moment, Jordan realized how far he had come. He was no longer the person who needed help. He was now the person who could offer it. He had become a mentor, a source of inspiration for others. Jordan's journey wasn't about reaching a finish line. It was about creating a sustainable, joyful way of life. He learned that wellness is not about a number on the scale or a specific size. It's about feeling good, strong, and alive. It's about having the energy to chase your dreams. It's about building connections and supporting others. Jordan had found a new identity. He was no longer just a graphic designer. He was a runner, a cook, a friend, and a mentor. He was someone who valued his health and well-being above all else. And that was the greatest transformation of all.